Hello my friends, and welcome to a summer book recommendations video. Now, for the first time ever, I feel like I actually have some summer books to recommend to you. Previously, I've always felt like I'm just not a summer reader. Like my vibes are just autumn and winter, not even really spring, definitely not summer. But I have a stack of books here for you, and I will even have some bonus ones coming. So I'm going to just talk about the ones that are on my stack here today. But if you sign up for my newsletter, my Substack, I want to make a post this week with a ton of summer book recommendations in a variety of genres. Today I'm just keeping it in the mystery suspense genres, but I have recommendations in other ones. And so sign up for my Substack. It's always linked. It's totally free. And I'm just gonna, bombard you with a bunch of great book recommendations. So, like I said, we're gonna stick with just like a little bit more mystery suspense today, but I do have some more. So, would love for you to join that. Today, we're going to start with a super fun one. If you want like kind of summer beach read, but mystery suspense as well, I would highly recommend Spies, Lies, and Alibis by Natalie Walters. This book is set in Texas as well as Italy, and I feel like it's just got those like warm summer vibes, but it's also like funny. We have two main characters who knew each other as children, teens, and then meet while they are both working undercover on this like kind of the same operation but a little bit different, and each one thinks that the other has kind of like gone to the dark side kind of idea. It's just so laugh out loud. There is a grandmother in here who is hilarious. Definitely grandmother goals when I'm older for sure. I actually bought this copy for my daughter. I'm rewarding my kids for identifying birds this summer. If you are subscribed to my Substack, you probably got that newsletter a few weeks ago, and I'm excited to own a copy, even though technically it's my daughter's. She is saving this for when we go on a trip, because she kind of wants this to be her like beach read. I hope she enjoys it as much as I did. Okay, a really good mystery that is dual timeline that I just loved, and it reads mystery, it reads contemporary. It's definitely like cross-genre, and that is What Happens Next by Christina Suzanne Nelson. And this was my very first book of hers that I read. I just read another one yesterday. I read it in 24 hours, less than 24 hours. It was so good. Definitely same vibes as this, but not summer. So in this one, we have a girl that disappears. I think she was like 9 or 10 or something like that. And then we are kind of set more present day. So I think that was in the 80s. And then present day, her friend that she had that summer when she disappeared is a true crime podcaster and is going to be looking into her friend's disappearance, which she didn't realize her friend disappeared because she had moved away and didn't get that information. And this book just kept me guessing. I just shared this in my last book haul. It's one of the books I bought with my birthday money because it's just a favorite of mine. I do want to read it after I have read all of Christina Suzanne Nelson's books, which I'm getting close to being caught up. At the same time, she writes pretty fast, so by the time I'm caught up, there'll probably be another new book, which is great. I love it when my favorite authors just pump out the books. Okay, speaking of favorite authors, of course I have to recommend a Jamie Jo Wright, and I have so many of hers I could recommend because I love so many, and I have another one of hers on my summer TBR, but this one is definitely the most summer because it's The Souls of Lost Lake by Jamie Jo Wright. I would say this is probably her most controversial book as well, because she goes a bit darker here than she does in her other books, but light does win out. And this one has to do with a like summer camp. So present day, it's set at a summer camp. And in the past, we were set in the woods. And this girl, I think she was like I want to say she was 14. Oh, 13. She came out of the woods holding a bloody axe and everyone thought that she killed her family with it, which wasn't actually even physically possible. Like, she wasn't even strong enough to like lift it. But you know, once people think something, it's hard to change their minds. And I just loved how Jamie Jo Wright used the dual timeline. I love her quotes about like light and darkness, or like light winning out over darkness. Like just this one line right here: pain either magnified faith or disabled it. For Patty, it only confirmed her belief that this world was broken and her Lord was the one who brought beautiful redemption. Just a line that I had tabbed. I love this one. And then, of course, speaking of favorite authors, I have to have an Agatha Christie in here. And there are quite a few of hers that I could recommend, but I don't talk about this one a ton. So I picked up Death on the Nile. I don't actually remember what time of year it takes place, but it's on the Nile, so it's hot. So I figured it would count. And obviously we've got a murder on a boat on the Nile. It's also a movie if you want to watch it after. This is a Poirot book, which a lot of people really love him. Personally, I'm a Miss Marple fan, but yeah, still really enjoyed it. And I do have a video here on my channel where I tried to solve the mystery while I was reading it. So if you want to read it and then watch that video, see how I did, you can do that. One that I read last month, I think it was, is The Life She Forgot by Joanna Davidson Politano. So this is dual timeline, but it has a mystery because both timelines are in the past. We're in 1913 and 1947. But in 1913, our main character was in an accident 3 years prior and can't remember anything from before that accident. So there's definitely that mystery of like, who was she? And she gets married at the beginning of the book to this guy. She's only known for a few weeks because she's trying to flee a situation. And then we're also set in 1947, and we're with a man who has been kind of haunted, definitely haunted, by his time in World War II. And trying to figure out, like, his timeline was very interesting. And this is going to be a series, so it's the first book in a new series or I think her only series, by Joanna Davidson Politano. Keep going with some favorite authors here. We've got Mrs. Paulifax by Dorothy Gilman. The first book is The Unexpected Mrs. Paulifax. Here we have a 60-year-old who gets her first job at the CIA kind of by accident, and she goes to Mexico. So once again, we're set somewhere warm. Most of her books are set somewhere warm. For the most part, she goes to either she leaves places, goes in the summer, or she goes just to warm places. I feel like we're kind of chasing the summer with her. And she's funny and she makes friends. And overall, I just love Mrs. Paulifax. Almost done this series. Another book I read last month is Raccoon Key. This is another dual timeline where there's a mystery in the past. So this one is 1873, and that mystery is still unsolved. In 1873, the lighthouse keeper's wife was murdered. The attending physician, the coroner, marked it as suicide, even though she died in a way that wasn't even possible. Like, she was obviously murdered. So there's the question of like, who murdered her? Why did the doctor rule it that way? And this is by Donna M. Cole. I feel like she did such a good job exploring this mystery. We're also set, I think it's like present day, with a marine biologist that is studying loggerhead turtles, and she's kind of digging into the past a bit. And I just really like how she handled this whole book and the mystery behind it. I don't want to give any spoilers. This is the first book that I've read by Donna M. Cole. I can't remember if she has any others out there, but I definitely will be reading more because I really enjoyed it. And then the last book is one I read a couple years ago and recently hauled because I bought a second copy. Not sure if I should have or not, but I got The Lake House by Kate Morton. And this one, the cover really just screams summer to me. If you missed my last book haul, I totally got this one because it has pretty end papers, even though I already have a paperback copy. So I will pass one of the copies on. So this one is also dual timeline. The years are 1933. So in that timeline, we have a 1-year-old boy that goes missing. And then 70 years later, we are with this detective who is on leave for some reason, and she comes across this mystery of this boy that went missing, and she's digging into it. Usually, and I've said this before, Kate Morton's books I feel like are usually about 100 pages too long. Like, I like them, but there's a point where I'm like, okay, we're just kind of repeating. And with this book, I didn't feel like that. I felt like I was invested into every single page. So that's when you know that you have a winner. So those are my, I think that was like 8 mystery suspense books that I would recommend for the summer. And if you want some more summer book recommendations, like I said, make sure you are subscribed to my Substack so you'll get an email when I put out my full list of summer book recommendations with a variety of genres on there and just a lot more books in general. So thanks for hanging out with me. I would love to hear your guys' summer book recommendations because I'm just in the mood to read seasonally, and I'm really loving books that are set in summer, especially like books set in the woods or, yeah, mostly woods. I was gonna say also the lake, just like outdoor vibes that aren't winter. So I would love your recommendations. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today.